Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
When V&P is growing them, and you can't grow those plants the same way either, right? I mean, it takes...
Oh, not at all.
Talk about maybe the different techniques of growing those and where they have to be placed in the nursery. And, it's a little more complicated than just, growing a Texas sage over here and a hibiscus over here.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that is something that, our nursery and all nurseries have to really consider at all points within the year. So, you might have some really herbaceous material, some more subtropical material that is in a greenhouse half of the year, and then it moves out for another half. We're constantly reallocating where our shrubs go because at certain times of the year, they're going to need more water or more light, or they need more heat, so they need to be more insulated in a greenhouse setting, whereas sometimes they need to have more of that, as we were talking about, that arid environment, and they need, more wind, they need more heat, they need more dryness. So it really just depends on the time of year as well. So if we're looking at truly arid adapted material, that really xerophytic material, it also takes more often than not longer to grow. So we have to also consider, when we're planting that, and are we going into a cool season? Are we going into a hot season? Sometimes that desert material, it doesn't respond as quickly or as well to being managed by people, whereas other plants do. They love that. They love being handled, and they're very adaptive in that way. But, some of them, like your Caesalpinia pulcherrima, your red bird of paradise, you can't just stick that seed in the ground and it'll grow. There actually is a process where we have to, break down the compounds of that shell to mimic what happens in an animal's digestive tract. There are so many things that the nursery has to consider to mimic conditions that happen naturally out in the environment to even get some of these seeds to germinate or some of these plants to grow. So if you're in an area that has more of a desert need, a lot of those plants that you'll have in your landscape are going to take so much longer to grow, and that requires a different soil mixture. They require less water. They might need more sun. They need more shade at certain times. If we're going to talk about something like your agaves, a lot of nurseries will grow those from labs. We actually take our pups and we multiply them, and we actually grow those in a setting.
Tell people what a pup is.
So a pup is
that's not a litter of puppies.
It's not. And I should clarify. So a pup is what we call essentially like a baby agave. It's in its infancy when a large agave starts to form smaller plants at the base. We call those pups. So what we do is we take those pups and we're able to multiply them in a laboratory setting, and our agaves, from that time on, they could be in a lab setting from anywhere from 6 months to 2 years before they even reach what you would see in the store as a 1-gallon size. So it's so interesting to be able to go into a retail setting and you can look at that desert adapted material and think, wow, that plant has lived an entire life before it's even reached these shelves. And it has so much to share. And of course, you want to bring that back to your yard and put it in, and just know that it had a whole history, a whole life before it reached you. And we always think that's pretty magical.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.